Hello TikTokers, I'm the Christian relationship counsellor and I wanted to talk today about selfishness and whether or not it was a sin to be selfish. Now we've been told to love our neighbours as ourselves, which means that we have to love ourselves. In loving yourselves, you tend to want to meet the needs of yourself. If you want to meet the needs of yourself, it means putting yourself first. And if you're going to put yourself first, that means you need to be selfish in order to put yourself first. When you put yourself first, it means you're then capable of looking after other people. Because if you don't put yourself first, you find that you're either feeling neglected, you're feeling as though you've been hard done by. And sometimes when you're putting other people first, you kind of feel as though you're missing out. So the most important thing is to look after yourself. Now, it's to what degree you become selfish. Now, selfishness, when it's called as opposed to selflessness, the Bible kind of implies that we should be selfless. We should put other people first. But if you, as the Bible also says, you love your neighbour as yourself, it implies you have to love yourself first. Selflessness, I believe, is about not thinking about your needs so much when somebody else's needs are greater than yours. Because if you are in a position to help somebody and it's not taking too much away from you, then why not? I think that people have got to the stage where they don't even want to help, even if they can. They've got to the stage where they need to know what's in it for them. That's not a admirable trait. If you I was reading this morning in the Bible, and it was talking about lend to somebody who is in need. And I was thinking about the word need. Sometimes people's needs are actually wants. Because if I want something as opposed to need something, to me, my needs are a roof over my head, somewhere warm to sleep, food on the table, and fluid drink so that, I can, nourish myself. And of course, health above all things. Those are my needs. Having a job for me is a need. It might be a need for me, but it might be a want for somebody else. And it might not even be necessary for another person. But for me to live comfortably, I need a job. I need to get up every day and go to work so that I can get a salary and provide for myself and my family. So, but when you think about a need for someone else, sometimes it's not a need for work. Sometimes it's just a need for income. Or sometimes it's just a need for survival. So some people, they might think, well, I don't have to go to work. The government will give me an allowance and I can live off of that. What I do need is to have enough income so that I can buy food. Now you'll find that those people, some of them will say, well, the government isn't giving me enough to help me buy the things that I want, not the things that I need. And sometimes the government isn't giving you enough to buy the things that you need. And then sometimes you find that the government is giving those who are not working more than those who are working, and the employer is paying them. They actually are worse off. So when you have something that you can give to somebody in need, you have, well, it's not up to you to question what their need is. But for me, if their need is material, then to me that's not a need. If it's a question of them having to need food to eat, something to drink, something in that way, then I feel it's my obligation, if I have it, to offer that to that person. Now, sometimes when you see homeless people and they say that they're hungry and they're reaching out to you to give you money, when you say, I'm not going to give you money, I'll go and get you something to eat, they don't like it. So their need isn't for food. Their need is for money. And that money is probably going to buy cigarettes, drugs, alcohol, whatever it is they feel they need. If they're addicted, then drinks and alcohol and drugs are a need for them. It's not a need for us. So how do we determine whether or not we give what we have to someone in need when their need is different from ours? So when you're thinking about selfishness, it's very, very difficult, because you are thinking about selfishness from your own perspective. You're thinking that I'm not going to give what I have worked hard for to somebody who is just going to squander what I've worked hard for. So you become selfish. When they ask you for something, you say, no, I don't have it. Is that wrong or is it right? Depends on the circumstances, depends on how you justify it in your mind and whether you have a clear conscience when you're saying no to somebody in need, in quotes. So, is selfishness a sin? I think that if you just think about yourself and you don't care about anyone else and everything is about me, it could be considered a sin. I also believe all things in moderation. I believe you need to think about yourself and you need to have your needs met to a certain degree, whichever way you choose to meet those needs. I believe, like I said, needs are different from wants. I would like a bigger house, or I want a bigger house so that I can put everything in place, but I don't need it. I would like, what else would I want? I would want to stay at home and do the things that I like to do, like videos, researching, reading, and spending time DJing, because I'm a DJ on the weekend, and specialising in that. That's what I would want to do, and have an income from that, an income from what I love doing. But that is a want, it's not a need. My needs are satisfied. At the moment, my needs are satisfied, and I'm grateful. So if my needs are satisfied, anything over and above that, I am able to help if I choose to, depending on my frame of mind and depending on whether I feel it's justified. I'm not quite sure if I should have all of those thoughts, but for me, it's sensible. I'm not going to throw pearl to the swine. I'm not going to give my hard-earned money, which it is hard-earned, to somebody who's going to, in my opinion, squander it, even if for that person it is a need. For me, like I said, the basic needs in Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a roof over your head, water, air, security, feeling safe. For some people, even if they're on the street, they feel safe to a degree, but their needs are different from ours. So I hope that's kind of clarified from my point of view whether or not selfishness is a sin. I think selfishness is a sin only when it's excessive. I think anything excessive is a sin, or, well, not good for you. and I believe all things in moderation. So wherever